Welcome to Art History 2. I'm Jennifer Evans, your professor. I hold a master's degree from Kent State University, and I'm actually an African art historian. I focus on the art of Africa and its diaspora. My background is in contemporary African art, but I have been teaching Art History 1 and 2 for about 10 years now. I love to travel and have been to many places to see art, including New York, London, Paris, Washington, D.C., the Dominican Republic, Germany, the Netherlands. That's all I can think of right now. San Francisco. So I've been quite a few places to see art. And one of the things that I've noticed is that no matter where the art exhibition is, art seems to stir a response in people that is passionate and that is attention drawing. So I hope that you enjoy my course and enjoy the excitement that I have for this subject matter, and enjoy the specialty that I have in non-Western art, because I'm always going to be asking you to look at the non-Western side of things, even though I'm actually teaching you the Western side of things. So let's talk a little bit about the syllabus. I just want to go over a few simple things with you so that you know what to expect in this course. One of the very first things I want to tell you is that I do not have office hours on Kent's main campus. I teach solely remotely. I am in Columbus, Ohio, whereas Kent's satellite campus that this is taught at is at Kent State Geauga. So, should you need something specific, the phone is the main way to do that, or we could meet over Zoom. My phone number is listed. It's listed here on the syllabus because I really do want you to use it. Too many times my students sit around stressing about something that I could answer very quickly for them, and they get anxious feeling like they're bothering me if they pick up the phone and call or text me. That is never the case. You're never bothering me. The reason that I give you my phone number is so that you can use it. Should you need something that's a little bit more in depth, I might tell you, oh, hey, I am in the middle of a birthday party and I'd really like to discuss that with you a little bit longer. Could we please set up a time to chat? In addition to, if you email me and say, hey, I need this or that, and it's a really long winded explanation that might lose something in the course of writing back and forth, I usually ask you to please just give me a call. I will always ask you to give me a call if you want to ask me about your grade. That is because I like to be able to personally talk to you about what it is that I see that might help you to improve your grade. Okay, so what else do I want to tell you? When you text, could you please identify yourself and what university you go to? Even if you've texted me prior to that day and told me who you are and what university you go to. And here's the reason. Unfortunately, sometimes my life is really, really busy, and I teach a lot at 3 different universities. And sometimes you'll text me, and I think I'm talking to a student from Kent, that I'm actually talking to a student from a different university. That has resulted in me delivering incorrect information to a student before. So I'm asking that you always identify who you are and what university you go to, and that you're taking art history too whenever you text me, so that I am sure I give you proper information. So what do you need in order to be successful in this course? Well, one of the main things that you're going to need is a textbook. In an online course, I find that a textbook is one of the most important things that you have. It's important because sometimes it will help you fill in gaps. If you're feeling a little confused, you can go to that section and read word for word what it is that the textbook publisher has to say about that work of art. It also is nice because it organizes things according to a timeline, and sometimes seeing that in paper really makes a difference. I think sometimes when you get a computer version of the textbook, it's a little bit harder to understand the way things are laid out. With that being said, the art history textbook that you see at the bottom here, the one that's very colorful with all different colors on the front that says art history, art being in gold, is the textbook that I use. It is a hardbound, very heavy textbook. The ISBN number for it is to the right there. It is the one that I gauge all of my stuff off of in terms of page numbers and things like that. So, because of that, if you are really, really OCD and you want everything to line up perfectly, then you'll want the textbook that I am using. If it doesn't bother you that things might be moved around, a chapter might be in a different order, then by all means find a used version of any of the textbooks that, or of any art history 2 textbook written by Stockstad, and you'll be on the same page as me. I have had some students buy a previous edition and get a little bit confused because sometimes they move the chapters around. And so what is chapter 18 in my book is not chapter 18 in your book. So just be aware of that. If you decide you want to go the bargain route, you might have a little bit of wonkiness there. I would say that 90% of my students decide that they want the digital version of the textbook because it's cheapest. And if that is the case, then the image of the reveal, the Revel student access code is what you're looking for. So either way, whichever you prefer is fine with me. And like I said, if you're super OCD about things, then you're going to want to use the one that I'm using, which is the colorful one down here. So most of my students want to know how they get a grade in my course. And so here I'm breaking down the grading system for you. So how's my grade determined? There are 3 exams, one at 6 weeks, one at 12 weeks, and then the final exam. Each are worth 100 points apiece for a total of 300 points. Your weekly homework assignments you will have at the end of each week except for the test week, and they are worth a total of 150 points, and then your total possible amount of points is 450. So I'm going to backtrack here for a minute and talk about those weekly homework assignments. This is just a reminder about my classroom policies and about turning in late work. All assignments are due on Sunday at midnight. I don't take late work unless you prearrange an extension with me at least 40 hours prior to the due date, and I only grant you 1 extension per semester. That being said, choose to use your extension wisely. You never know when you might need it. If you're sick or in the hospital or something like that, we can usually work it out, but you'll need to contact me way in advance. So what's that mean that you need to do every single week? Each week you need to read the textbook chapter, you need to watch and take notes from the online video presentation, and you need to do your homework assignment on Blackboard. Keep in mind when you're taking notes that you will be able to use your notes in your exam, as well as you'll be able to use your textbook. So however that works best for you is how you're going to want to organize that. That weekly homework assignment that I keep talking about that's going to be on Blackboard will have a combination of questions. It'll have multiple choice questions, some short answer, and maybe an essay or an opinionated question. You only get one chance to do the homework, but it has unlimited time, so you can start and stop the assignment at any time. You can do an answer here and there, or you can do a section at a time so that it's convenient for you. You should be spending several hours a week doing the homework, like 2 to 3. Okay, so exam weeks look a little bit different than your regular weeks with homework and reading assignments. On exam weeks, you're going to want to pay attention to the review. The review is usually posted a week before the exam, but the dates specifically are listed in the syllabus. Open the exam in a quiet place where you can devote a full 2 hours without interruption to your work, because it is forced completion and you only get one chance. And you must have a textbook for your exam. I have students every semester who come to me and go, I didn't buy the textbook, at the last minute when they're in the middle of taking the exam. My answer is going to be, you should have done so. There are many things that you can do to get around not wanting to pay $100 for a textbook, and the information about some alternatives are in the syllabus. Exams have a combination of question types, just like the homework, and they are timed. You'll have until Sunday at midnight to turn in the exam, just like your homework. You'll only get one chance on the exam. It's forced completion, so you want to be sure that you have a comfortable place to work on the exam where you can devote all of your attention to what you're doing. If for some reason you get interrupted while you're in the middle of doing the exam and you leave the computer for too long, the exam will automatically submit for you. Makeup opportunities for examinations are only worked out with a valid university recognized documentation, meaning that you have to be able to prove to me why you were out for the entire week or why you couldn't do the exam for the entire week. Some helpful things to note. Show courtesy and respect to one another whenever you're speaking to one another. Show courtesy and respect to me when you're speaking to me. If English is a second language for you, please let me know. You may refer to my presentations until I release the exam. Once I release the exam, everything shuts down. In the exam, you may use your textbook, you may use your notes, you may not use Google. If I think you have looked up answers, you will be cited for plagiarism. Contact me if you don't understand an assignment, a paper, or instruction. You'll need to contact me in time for you to still turn the assignment in by the posted due date. As part of this course, you will have access to lots of digital images. Some of the digital images belong to me. I've taken them through my travels in the university. That means that they're my property. And so I ask that you do not distribute anything from the class that is visual, anything that is my intellectual property. So the thing that's going to keep you on track the most this semester is this assignment calendar. The assignment calendar corresponds to the Blackboard page to a T. So week 1 is labeled week 1, January 18th to January 24th. The next column in the assignment calendar is the lecture topic for the week or the era of art history to be covered. Then the next column would be what you need to do for the week. So it's asking you to read pages 542 to 573. The next column is what is due for the week. So for week 1, you need to turn in your homework questions. Exam weeks will be listed here. When the assignment is due is the next column. Everything is always due Sunday by midnight, but one exception, which is the final exam. The final exam is released on a Monday and is due back by Wednesday of that week. And then important information to note. For example, on January 18th, which was yesterday, it was Martin Luther King Day and the campus offices were closed. It also has add drop dates in it. It has dates in it for when reviews will be posted.